Hello there, YouTube. It is your boy V3 back with another kicking movie reaction review. Today we're doing a fun, pulpy film. I believe you can watch it for free legally, actually. It is Flash Gordon Rocketship, which is a very pulpy, film. A lot of people, I think, have probably seen the 80s Flash Gordon, but not like the Buster Crab old schooly stuff. I have a copy of it, and this was actually my first exposure to Flash Gordon as a kid. I've had this set for a really long time. Classics from outer space. I also have a kaiju one. I remember getting the kaiju one as a kid, and then later getting this one from my local grocery store. It's just a bunch of, public domain sci-fi films, many of which I've reviewed from other sets. Like I've reviewed Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. I've reviewed Phantom from Space. Embryo is one that's coming up. It's actually in the DVD player right now. Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet, Killers from Space, Night of the Blood Beast, and Assignment Outer Space. I've reviewed all of those if you want to check those out. So yeah, not much until this set's actually finished. But yeah, so this Flash Gordon Rocketship serial was edited together into a movie, which, Flash Gordon Rocketship, either as movie or serial, can be watched on a few different platforms like Tubi, Vudu, and Amazon Prime Video. It's got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb. 79% of Google users like the film. The serial itself is from 1936. It's a pulp sci-fi adventure thing. Like, different cuts depend on how long it is. Sometimes it's 4 hours, 5 minutes. Sometimes it's a couple hours. It's all over the place. Quick read up: when the planet Mongo, sorry, I'm thinking Green Lantern. When the planet Mongo threatens to collide with Earth, athlete Flash Gordon, played by Buster Crabbe, and pretty damsel Dale Arden, played by Gene Rogers, join scientist Dr. Alexis Zarkov, played by Frank Shannon, on a trip to a strange planet. When they arrive on Mongo, they meet the planet's malevolent emperor, Ming the Merciless, played by Charles Middleton, who is intent on destroying Earth. Ming's daughter, Princess Aura, played by Priscilla Lawson, on the other hand, grows rather fond of the hunky Flash. The initial release, of the serial, was April 6th, 1936, directed by Frederic Stefani and Ray Taylor, starring, as I said, all those other people, but just a couple additional ones, like Richard Alexander played Prince Baron, Jack Lipson played King Voltan, who is probably my favorite character, honestly. But yeah, it was, the budget was like $350,000 and produced by Henry McRae. So it's pretty wild. It just kind of starts off, and this is a film version of it that I'm talking about today. Maybe one day I'll watch it as the serial edit. But it kind of just starts off with, everyone thinks Earth's going to be destroyed because another planet's hurtling towards it. And so they get on a rocket to go to stop this planet, and it turns out it's inhabited, and its path is being controlled. And Ming the Merciless, who really seems like he's supposed to be Asian-looking alien, that's why they kind of make him green and stuff in the modern day, I think, is to kind of distance him from Asian stereotypes, but it's still... Ugh. And Ming's like, yeah, I'm going to destroy the Earth. And then our scientist character, Alexi, is like, why? Why would you want to destroy it? You could rule it or something. And then Ming's like, yeah, I could. I didn't think of that. I just wanted to destroy it for no reason. And there's all this weird stuff, like the Emperor's daughter, as soon as she lays eyes on Flash, she's juicing for him, and the whole time she's scheming to try to get him to fall in love with her, but in, malicious ways, but it's because that's all she's ever known. I mean, if you're raised by Ming the Merciless, every time you wanted something, you'd try to get it maliciously, but eventually by the end, she realizes if she's a good person and helpful, people will like her. And if you watch the film cut, it's so weird because it's like a bunch of episodic stuff almost, like things that they do within each episode, but they're all strung together, so 1,000 different things happen in a theatrical cut. It's so, or maybe not theatrical cut, but a film cut. It just depends. Once again, there's several different versions of the Flash Gordon Rocketship serial and movie. It's odd. Well, I think there's only one version of the serial as a show, and then multiple versions as a film. Once again, lots of the info seems to contradict itself when I was looking stuff up. I guess that's just because it's old. Whatever. So, like, they're doing all this stuff on the planet. It's so odd. Like, a lot of these things are just straight up funny. Like, they're just hilarious. I love all the pulpy, like, weird science stuff, like turning Flash invisible, so he can, like, kick and strangle people as an invisible guy. And there's just so many weird scenes, because, like, there's this one scene where the Emperor calls for a death match, to have, Flash kind of killed, but have his hands clean of it. And Flash has to fight this alien ape creature. And apparently no one's ever been able to defeat it, but there's, like, a super secret way to defeat it. And this, like Ming's right hand, who's, like, this malevolent priest guy, tells the daughter so that she can save Flash. And this priest is weird, because it seems like he's playing both sides. And while you're watching it, you're like, oh, so he probably wants to become Emperor or something. But that's not really what happens, at least in my cut. In my cut, by the end, it seems like he just enjoyed causing chaos and was just cartoonishly evil, and he had no end game. He just enjoyed being evil, which on one hand is like bad writing, but on the other hand, it's just so fun and pulpy and cartoony that you can't help but love it. But yeah, and then the princess tells Flash what the secret to defeating the monster is. And would you like to hear the secret? The secret's just to stab it. That's true. She tells Flash, she, like, whispers it in his ear, and then he stabs it and it dies. And you're like, stabbing is its weakness? Yeah, being stabbed is my weakness too. What a coincidence. You wouldn't have considered stabbing it beforehand? Absolutely insane. This is so dumb. And then at the end, it's wild. I know I'm getting spoilery, but I'm sorry. And at the end, Flash and friends get on their ship to leave, and they leave all the new friends they've made behind, like the lion people and the hawk people, these, like, very Thanagarian-looking aliens. Ended up, they started out as kind of villains, but then ended up on Flash's side. And then there's, like, the prince who was the rightful ruler of the planet that, like, Ming dethroned his father as a child and stuff. And all these, and Ming's daughter and all their allies, they made a bunch of allies. They're leaving them all behind. And then after they leave on their rocket ship, the evil priest comes up, and he's like, I put a time bomb on their ship. Ooh hoo hoo, I am evil. And he just comes out of nowhere, and without being prompted, just kind of tells that to all of Flash's allies. And of course they immediately radio the rocket ship and tell them there's a bomb so that they stop it. It's like, if the priest just wouldn't have bragged about the evil thing he did to people that could have easily led to it being stopped, he would have 100% completely succeeded in killing all three of the Earthlings. 100% he would have succeeded. Which is wild. And after they're told there's a time bomb on the ship, they find it very quickly. And do you know why they found it very quickly? Because it's very visually obvious that it's a time bomb. It's a big hourglass. The time bomb in this is literally a big hourglass. It doesn't get cartoonier than that. Oh my god. The only thing that could have made this more cartoony was if it was animated. Absolutely incredible. And then as I'm watching this, I'm like, this score is really familiar and stuff. And I was like, is this a Universal Monsters score? Is this stock music from Universal? And then in the one scene where, like, Ming has hypnotized our female lead and is going to make her his bride, You know, classic old movie stuff that's horrifying now. But, like, they bring her out hypnotized in her dress, and it plays the same exact song that plays when the Bride of Frankenstein is revealed in Bride of Frankenstein. And it's like even kind of the same exact context that it's played in, and the shot is like the same shot almost too. It's they're 100% mimicking Bride because they know they can use the music, I guess. And it was effective. I mean, that song, that reveal song with the wedding bells and stuff, it was a good choice. But you see that, and then it makes you immediately think of a far, 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 far superior film. So maybe it didn't help them out as much as they thought it would. Oh, Jesus. And that's another thing, like, because Ming rules the whole planet, but there are smaller kingdoms of different species of aliens on the planet. So, like, there's hawk people and lion people, and the lion people wouldn't work with Ming, so he, like, you know, made a bunch of them, like, slaves and impoverished and stuff. And then the hawk people decided they would work with Ming, and so, you know, they just became kind of normal citizens of the empire. Odd. And so, like, you know, the humans show up to Ming to beg him not to destroy their planet, and Ming is immediately like, the scientist is going to go to my lab and be my science slave. Flash is going to be locked away. And maybe do work, like physical work as a slave, and then the woman will be my bride. But then when they go to the Hawk Kingdom, the king there is immediately like, the scientist will be my science slave, Flash will be a prisoner and made to do physical labor, and the woman will be my bride. And it's the same exact thing happens, and it's so weird. It's so odd. I don't know. But I loved all the weird science that resulted from that. Because they took this human scientist, gave him all... And, like, Ming and the Hawkeye are both like, give this scientist who I'm imprisoning and torturing the friends of, give him all the resources he needs. And then, of course, he uses those resources to help his friends. And it's like, duh, of course he does. It's... And especially with the Hawk guy, it's weird because he just got a report that the very thing happened to Ming the Merciless. They just did that to Ming in the same situation. And then he puts them in the same situation. They do the same thing to him, and he's surprised. It's insane. It's so funny. It's such a fun watch. If you can watch the full serial, go ahead and do that. I'd recommend it. I love like cliffhangers in old serials and stuff. It's so much fun. And when you're watching this, you can clearly see where those cliffhangers would like be, and that's really fun and enjoyable. And I just loved it. Flash Gordon Rocketship is a mess, but it's such a fun, campy mess that you can't help but love it. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. We have more movie reviews on the way. Hellraiser 3, Son of Kong. What else do we have? The Three Worlds of Gulliver, Psycho Gorman, Friday the 13th 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Halloween 3, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake. I think in that order, unless I change it up. That's the order I have currently listed, but that might change. Oh, because I might do Embryo before I do any of those. It's all those are coming for sure. I've watched them and have my notes already made. The order is subjective. So that's it. Thank you all once again. See you all next time.